Okay, so this is a story about a single shot in a basketball game. But really, it's so much more than that. It's about a moment that lasted just a few seconds, but was literally years in the making. It's a story about pressure, about belief, and about the deep, deep roots of what it takes to succeed when the whole world is watching.
All right, so let's set the scene. We're in Tampa, Florida. It's the NCAA tournament, March Madness, where legends are born. And what we have here is a classic David versus Goliath matchup. You've got the underdog Iowa Hawkeyes, and they're facing the reigning national champions, the Florida Gators. The whole arena is just electric, and the tension, wow, you could almost cut it with a knife. And there are just 4.5 seconds left on the clock. 4.5. That's it, the champions have the lead. I mean, that's barely enough time to even think, let alone save your entire season. For the Hawkeyes, it really looks like the dream is about to be over.
But what happened next? Well, it was pure magic. It was one of those moments that left everyone, and I mean everyone, including the team's own coach, Ben McCollum, in just absolute disbelief. A moment that was, in his own words, completely surreal. So, who is this player who took the shot? What gives someone the audacity, right? The sheer nerve to believe they can make a shot like that with everything, and I mean everything, on the line. To figure that out, we've got to understand the mind of the man who took it. And to really get the pressure, you have to appreciate just how big this mismatch was. Look at this. The Iowa Hawkeyes, they were number 9 seed. Their opponents, the Florida Gators, were not only the number 1 seed, but they were also the defending national champions. On paper, Iowa had almost no business even being in this game, let alone winning it. The player who took that final shot, well, he wasn't just anybody. This was Alvaro Folgueiras, a forward all the way from Spain. And his self-belief was something his coach described perfectly. It was a little irrational. It's that kind of confidence that just doesn't make sense on paper, but can change literally everything on the court. And this mindset was on full display before the final play was even drawn up. Before the ball was even inbounded, Folgueiras goes right up to his teammate, Bennett Stirtz, and he calls his shot. He didn't just hope he would make it, he told his teammate he was going to make it. Now that's not just confidence, that's conviction. But where does that kind of unshakable self-belief even come from? It wasn't just born on a basketball court, To truly get it, to understand where that confidence comes from, we have to go way back, long before this game, to a small town in Spain, and to the person who showed him what true strength really looks like. His journey, wow, it was filled with immense challenges and so much personal sacrifice. He lost his father when he was just 9 years old. Then, at 16, think about that, just 16, he makes this incredibly brave decision to move to America all by himself. He didn't know a word of English. All of it just to chase his basketball dream. Now, the driving force behind him, the one person who made all of this possible, was his mother, Beatriz Campos. I mean, this woman was a pillar of strength, often working 14-hour days just to provide for him and his brother. She was the one who sent her teenage son across an ocean with, as he put it, nothing but dreams and hunger. So here's the crucial point, right? His on-court confidence, that so-called irrational belief, well, it wasn't irrational at all. It was forged in fire. He got it from watching his mother's incredible off-court resilience every single day of his life. Her fight, that became his inspiration. Okay, so now that we know all that, knowing the journey, the sacrifice, and where his belief comes from, let's go back to that court in Tampa. Let's revisit those final, absolutely heart-stopping seconds of the game. It all just happened so fast. Florida takes the lead. Iowa has to go the full length of the court. They break the press. Stirtz drives hard to the basket, pulling the entire defense with him. And then he makes the perfect pass to a wide-open Folgueiras. He catches it in perfect rhythm and lets it fly. Pure nut. Unbelievable. And you know what makes this ending even more dramatic? It's that Iowa wasn't just hanging on by a thread all night. They were the better team for most of the game. They were leading for 66% of it, which makes the fact that it all came down to one last shot even more agonizing and, in the end, so much more triumphant. So this wasn't just a big upset. No way. This was a historically significant moment. A shot this clutch against a number 1 seed on a stage this big, it hadn't happened since that legendary Chris Jenkins buzzer beater in the 2016 national championship game. This was instant history.
So as the arena just explodes into absolute chaos and the Hawkeyes are dogpiling each other in celebration, the hero of the game, he only had one person on his mind. He wasn't looking for a camera. He was looking for his inspiration. As his teammates are going wild, Folgueiras breaks away from the celebration. He runs straight into the stands and right into his mother's arms. She had traveled all the way from Spain just to be there. And this was the first time they had seen each other in person since August. The first time she had seen him play in 2 years. And in that beautiful, just raw, emotional moment, everything else just melted away. The game, the crowd, the championship, all of it just faded into the background. It was just a son and his mother sharing a victory that really belonged to both of them. And how incredible is this? His mother, Beatriz, was standing just a few feet away from him when he made that epic, life-changing shot. She was right there, on the floor, holding this simple, handmade sign. A perfect testament to a mother's undying belief in her son. So this incredible story really just leaves us with one question, doesn't it? What really fuels a moment of greatness? Sometimes the biggest shots, they aren't about endless practice or some perfect strategy. Sometimes they're fueled by something so much deeper, by love, by sacrifice, and by a powerful resilience learned a world away, from the very person who believed in you first.